you got us here, maybe you ought to take charge of this meeting, okay?
Okay. So I took the liberty to put together a little agenda. Right, some of you, I sent an email to everybody. Did everybody get a copy?
Yeah, I did. I'm like looking at, this looks like a massive project, and as you know that I'm going to be segueing into the design department, only going to be here for 3 to 4 more weeks. So whatever is delegated to me, I think it's going to be important that you also understand the limitations that I'll have. And if I am going to be doing some of this stuff, I'm probably going to, whoever's going to be taking over my position, I'm going to probably need extra help so you guys aren't hung out to dry. So that's all I wanted to start out with this meeting, telling you guys.
Well, I think 3 to 4 weeks is enough time. I think the reason why you're moving to the design department is you have a lot of energy and a lot of dedication, and that's why you've been assigned to this team. At least that's what I've been told. So
yeah, well,
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
so we have high expectations.
Oh,
yeah, my mother-in-law is coming into town, so she's moving in. So I gotta Chang, I know you're the best at what you do, and I think that I'm definitely gonna need a lot of help here. So this is, I mean, I can't work overtime. That right off the bat. And during lunch, I have a couple of things I have to take care of to accommodate for my mother moving in. My mother
Got it.
moving in.
You got complaints too? You got problems too?
It's not a
Come on.
complaint, Joe.
No.
I mean, that's okay.
I have no
We
complaints.
all have lots of work to do, all right? We've been assigned to do this. I went ahead and took the liberty to put together an agenda. I'd like to review it, and we can all talk about these things because let's understand what we're going to do. There's a number of tasks here, right? And we're going to talk about what they are. We're going to talk about the legitimacy of going through there, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to divvy them up and how we're going to get it done, right? We all have mother-in-laws. We're all moving on. We only have X amount of time to be able to get the work done, okay? So can we just stick to the focus and go through these things? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go for yours.
Okay, the first issue is assess the current hardware and software in all the different 6 offices, right? So for example, if 4 out of the 6 offices use something, maybe that's the direction we begin to lean.
Joe, I think we know what things are, and I think we need to move this meeting along a little quicker.
Okay, what do you suggest we do?
Well, just kind of go through them a little faster, just because I've got to make a couple of phone calls. And
I appreciate your sort of energy towards moving on other things, but this also deserves some attention. All right, evaluate the current market options, hardware and software-based solutions, right? So we have to understand what's out there, right? We have to understand, first of all, what's being used by the different offices here, and then what's also available, okay? Does everybody agree with that?
Right.
Okay, wonderful. Then examine the learning curve for time loss for the most potential solutions, meaning that if we're going to change something within the different offices, we have to understand what's it going to take, what's going to be the learning curve, what are the resources we're going to have to put toward actually teaching people to be able to use that software.
You know that's been tried before.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're new, so how could you know? But it has been tried before many times. I'd love it to be done differently, more efficiently than last time, because I cannot tell you how many times they've tried to streamline.
Yeah.
You know, it just goes down the stream.
Yeah. Well, I think that again, this project's been hanging out there, and a number of people have tried it, as you pointed out to me.
Yeah.
So, the 4 of us are going to get together and figure out how to do it, how to do it right this time.
right on, Joe.
Right?
Hey.
Okay, great. We're having fun, guys.
How many do we have left to go?
We have 1 left.
Oh, okay.
1 left.
Great.
Okay, so we have to evaluate the workload of the 6 different the offices, and therefore we need to understand how we're going to actually implement that software. So have I left something off the list?
No.
Number 1?
It's very, very efficient.
Rosa, you think, I'm sorry, do you think anything's been left off?
No,
Anything
no,
you'd like to
I think
add?
you covered, and then some.
Chang?
No, it's crystal clear for me.
Okay, so, all right, so we got the stuff on the list, right? So I guess the first question would be, does anybody volunteer to take on any of these items?
Well, there's just one thing that I'm thinking of, the timeline. I just, when we do this, I just want to raise a question of concern, thinking of exactly how heavy the workload or the responsibilities that I'm going to have to undertake, because
Nobody works faster in this office than you do.
I
Yeah,
know,
Chang.
but however, when I segue into the design department, who wants to pick up where I left off?
You've been transferring to that department for a long time.
Hey, you know what? Hang on.
You have the
I'm
time
sorry,
to do
Simon.
some of this.
Sorry to interrupt, but you know what? First, let's understand the tasks at hand, and then we can figure out how long it's going to take. Let's not worry about it just yet, right?
Okay.
Because
That
you know
makes
what? We
sense.
might find something you're going to love to do. Okay, of these items, there might be something fantastic. So don't worry about that. Let's first, before we all start worrying.
Commit too much of my time. I mean, I'm having a lot of trouble with Jose, and
Okay, I understand that. So let's just try to break it down even simpler, right?
The most thing I'm interested in doing is putting the calls out to the other field offices and have those reports come back into me and start developing those into a streamlined report.
Fantastic. So that's basically item B on the list, right? And Rosa, is there anything on the list that you'd be interested in doing?
I'm embarrassed to say, but I didn't download the list from the email.
So just in general,
can I look at the list, please?
There's a budget issue?
There's so much going on in my life right now, Joe.
Well, let me make it simple for you.
Okay,
Okay, I'll make it
please.
simple for you. So we're gonna assess the current hardware and software, right? That's something that we can even send out a memo to all of our employees to sort of say, what's working and what isn't working, right?
You're going to get an opinion from every employee.
Well,
Are
I think
you
we can
kidding?
send out an email that says, which softwares do you use most, which software do you not?
You know
Which
what
is
you're going to
useful
get
and
back?
which isn't.
Solitaire.
Is that what you do, Joe?
I walk around, I see them, half the people are sitting there playing solitaire talking to their mother-in-law.
It's my opinion that I think that Rosa is probably the best person for the account management and those
Yeah, I
cost
agree with that.
assessment because she does
Yeah,
crunch the numbers
absolutely.
most than any of us.
That's what I was thinking. So right now, Rosa, that might change, but right now I'm just going to put your name next to that one.
But I'm gonna be knocking on your desks.
Yeah, you
Don't worry about
knock on my
it.
desk anytime. If I'm not there, you just keep knocking.
Okay.
Because you're too busy playing solitaire.
I don't play solitaire.
So I'll tell you what, so let's just back up and say for a moment then, I'll go ahead and assess the current hardware and software used in all 6 offices, okay? I know,
I got to
going
get out of
fast.
here, okay?
Hang on, we're almost
I got to
done,
get out of
Simon.
here.
Can I just
No,
before
look,
we finish this, I
I have to
understand.
get out of here. I got a meeting.
But
I
if
got a
I need
meeting
help,
down
you're
the
gonna
hall.
help me, right? Because I can't
So-
do this by
so
myself.
Simon,
Can we do
I'll
this
tell you
another
what,
time? I
I'll
got to
tell
go.
you-
I'm really
No
pressed.
problem.
Yeah,
I'll
I-
assign you to
I
a
think
couple
it's
of
a good
things.
idea that we
We'll talk
stop
about it
it.
later.
Okay. Oh, Joe.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Coming into this meeting, I thought we had an agenda. I thought this agenda was, everybody had a copy of it. They should have had a copy of it. They should have reviewed it. I showed up to the meeting, realized that only Chang had a copy of the agenda and Rosa and Simon did not. There's a couple of things that I believe when you go to any meeting. Number one, you have to show up. Number two, at least we got that. Number two, you have to show up on time. At least we got that. But number three, there needs to be an agenda, and you should be aware of the agenda. And number four, when you leave the meeting, you should understand what the next steps are. Like I said, Rosa and Simon didn't even know what the agenda was. They spent more time. Most of the people spent more time complaining and talking about what they couldn't do or why they couldn't do it, as opposed to focusing on the tasks at hand. In retrospect, I think I would have taken their personalities into consideration a little more, and therefore been a little more proactive and anticipate sort of the situations that may have happened in the meeting, and therefore make it more productive, make it more effective, and definitely make it much more efficient, because everybody's got other things to do. And I think how I would have done that is to think through who, in my mind, would be appropriate for which tasks ahead of time, and then laid it out on the table, and have gotten their reactions. And if they wanted to change it, then we could, and if not, we'd implement that and move forward. If you work any place, I think that you should be committed and dedicated and passionate about what you do. If you're just having a job, I think that one should consider, making pizzas or pumping gas or something, than working in a professional environment where you have to work in a team and actually produce things and get things done. Okay, great. Thanks for getting together, guys. Does anybody know where Rose is?
She'll be here.
Okay, great. I got an email that said she was going to be here, so that's fantastic. So as you know, we have to turn this thing in on Friday. Today's Wednesday. We got 2 days to do it. Chang, I got yours. Fantastic. Rosa, I hope that she's got hers done now. And Simon, we're looking, as you know, and as you responded with the email, we're looking for you to sort of evaluate the 6 offices. understand their workload and how we can implement the plan. Right? Great.
But I can't do it.
You can't do it.
No. Well, I won't do it because I haven't got the time.
Guys,
You
I'm
won't do it?
so sorry. I'm late. I'm Simon, Joe, Cheng. I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
Rosa, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm just kind of really freaked out about this deadline. I got your email yesterday, and
Can I just carry on with what I was saying?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Okay.
Can I?
Mhm.
What I'm saying is that I can't do...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
Okay.
just to give you an overview,
Yes,
since you got here late.
please.
We're, as you know, as everybody knows from the email, this thing's due on Friday. Today's Wednesday. We got 2 days to pull it together. Of the 7 tasks, we have 4 of them complete. We have 3 more tasks to complete. One has to do with...
Is one of those 4 supposed to be mine that's complete? Because I didn't exactly complete it, and I'm
No,
really
we're...
under a lot of...
Hang on. Of the 7 items, 4 of them are complete. We have 3 others that we want to talk about. We want to talk about in terms of examining the learning curve and also the budget. And we also want to talk about how we're going to implement the thing.
Which is what we were talking about when you came.
When you
When you
walked
walked
in.
in.
Finish what
So
I'm saying.
Simon
I'm
was
sorry,
just
Saying
guys,
what I'm
that I was
saying,
late.
what I was saying was that I can't do it because I got 16 jobs on at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm off to France this afternoon. But what I say to you is that I think what you're doing looks like a good thing. Okay, so I will get my staff to take a look at what you want. They'll do some checking. Okay, if they think it's viable, I will put my name to it.
Great.
Okay, that's the best I can do, and I'll be
Fantastic.
glad to
That's all
do
we're
that.
asking for.
Okay?
Wonderful.
Excuse me. In all honesty, it's Joe. I really only have about 60% of my report done. I gave you what I have, but I'm still waiting for the other 6 offices to give me entire reports, and I'm under an incredible amount of pressure here with my deadline also due for my master's degree.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best that I can, but I have to tell you that's not the report in its entirety.
Great.
I really don't know how we can get this done. I mean, I was up all night, and I'm so behind, and I just don't know how we can meet this deadline. I mean, is there any way we can, buy some time or something?
Well, Simon, they spoke with you. When's it due on Friday?
About 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, Rosa, why don't you email to me what you've got so I can look at it, okay?
It's not going to be enough, Joe, and that's the problem. I mean, my hair's starting to fall out over here.
So-
It's just too much to do in too little time.
Email what you've got. Hang on.
What?
Simon, cool it. Okay, email it to me, right? The idea is that I will take on the responsibility of putting the whole thing together, right? Right now you've got 60% of it done.
I
You've
may
already
have more
sent
by
it.
Friday, though.
That's fantastic. If you don't, that's how we'll preface it. We'll say, look, there's 60% done, and this is the reason being we haven't gotten all the information. Based on the information that we have now, based on the deadline at 3 o'clock, we're going to pull it together. So
Well-
whatever, if you could email where you are, the same way he's at 60%, right? If you could do a quick assessment, you think you're at 30%, 80%?
No, not 80, definitely.
30?
Between 30 and 50, I guess.
Fantastic. So we'll preface that. Email it to me today, okay? So I can start to put the stuff together so I understand what I've got to do by Friday.
I don't work really well under pressure, and that's the problem I'm
Okay,
having. I mean,
I'll tell you what.
What?
Let's say you email it to me today. Pressure's off. That's it. I'll preface it saying Rosa
I don't want
got
you to take me
30%.
off of it. I want to
I'm
try
not
to.
saying that. Hang on. To take the pressure off, I'll put it in. Say Rosa's at 30%. Given your deadline of Friday at 3 o'clock, this is where we are. So we can assess the criteria in terms of where we are. Then you've got from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 a.m. to get anything else done you might. Okay? No pressure. Okay? Let's see how you do with no pressure.
What I can do, Joe, is assist her with streamlining her report.
That's cool.
what I
That's
do.
fantastic.
Because only if the examination of the learning curve and time loss that Simon has decided to put off on me is alleviated, and he takes on some of that responsibility in his office, then I can help her out, do her thing.
Come on. Like I don't have enough to do, really.
Wait a minute. I wasn't aware of that. You guys, we're working as a team. I think it's important that we communicate with everybody. I didn't know that you passed that on to Chang. I just wasn't aware.
Yeah,
Did
but
you
he
know?
was aware of it. But the reason he's
I
passing it off
wasn't
because
aware.
he's got to do his
Overwhelmed.
master's degree.
However,
You know,
overwhelmed.
it's like the eternal
Look,
student.
Hey guys, hang on. Right? At our last meeting, we left abruptly. We didn't even bring closure to it, right? So I sent an email to everybody saying, these are the tasks. This is how we're going to divvy it up, right? 2 tasks, 2 tasks, 2 tasks, 1 task, right? Everybody shot back, fantastic, no problem, great. We'll have it done in a week's time, which is today. We got the memo today saying that the thing's due on Friday. All right, so we should have been done. If we're not done, given whatever circumstances, then we qualify it as such. All right, we're still going to turn it in on Friday at 3. I'm asking you to send yours today. I've got yours already.
Mine will be done.
Okay, all right, great, guys. I will email a copy to everybody prior to sending it in case you guys have any last-minute tidbits. So I'll do that Friday at 10 a.m. So between 10 and 3, if there's any other comments you want to put in, please do so. Otherwise, I'll let it rip. All right? Thanks, guys. I think it's important that it's, you know, in theory, it's one big happy family, meaning people need to be able to communicate, they need to like each other, you need to get along. Why? I think you need to, in any business environment, I think you need to depend on each other and a team, and therefore you need to respect each other. And gaining respect should, I believe, be done through sort of the professional atmosphere of coming through and getting your work done. When you don't get your work done, I think you can lose respect. Unfortunately, we're human beings, and part of an office environment is, you know, chit-chat and understanding personally, because you spend more time in your office than you do at home. You spend more time with your coworkers than you do your family. So you do get to know people on a personal level, and if there's personal difficulties, it's harder to work together. If I see that there's a lack of commitment on people's part, I try to have a personal discussion with them to find out what motivates them, what's important to them, what are their personal goals, what are their professional goals. If I don't feel I can help them reach those personal and or professional goals while they can reach mine as well, then maybe we shouldn't be working together. I think that for someone to be committed, they need to believe in it. A lack of commitment to me sort of begins to identify a difference in goals that one needs to readdress to make sure everybody's on the same page.